Good morning, good morning, good morning, and happy Hump Day. Yay, it's another Hump Day. Another week's gone by. Another glorious day to be grateful and happy, to be surprised and delighted by what your life has to offer you. Good morning from the Hartley Center. Live, I'm Dr. Valerie Renee Shepherd, coming to you for this week's segment of my Hump Day Happy Chat. Hump Day Happy Chat. Yabba dabba doo. What are these chats for? Some of you may be asking, because I get questions all the time. I'm an advisor to CEOs, and I am also a participant with groups and organizations to help people contribute high performance leadership. And who doesn't need that in their nonprofits, in their companies, in their teams, and in their own lives? I mean, I like high performance in my own life, all aspects of my life: business, relationships, my contributions to the planet. Give me more high performance. The idea about high performance is things are easier, things are better. I have less struggle, less striving, less efforting, less quote unquote hard work. I mean, I've got a PhD in hard work. I've got a PhD in proving. I've got a PhD in working my tuchus off. And now I'm getting my PhD in let's make life easier. Let's do living happy to be me, which already has within it embedded the tools and tips and practices for living a life that is fulfilling, uplifting, inspiring without the difficulties, without the difficulties, without the debilitating effects of the difficulties when they show up. So that's what we're about here at the Hartley Center for Self-Mindfulness and Self-Mastery. Mindfulness is about being present in your life to know what's actually going on, not what you perceive or interpret. Notice the difference. Not what you perceive or interpret, which can often be driven by your past, but what is actually happening in the moment, which is you're able to understand by your discernment, which is your third eye and your heart. Not your intellect, not your brain power, your discernment. Yay. So that's mindfulness. And self-mastery is mastering you in your life so that you can exquisitely manage whatever your life brings your way. Whatever your life brings your way. And I don't know anybody whose life hasn't brought their way all kinds of things, from the very, very high highs to the very, very low lows. And so to be able to manage them exquisitely through three pillars of power: self-awareness, self-acceptance, and self-love. Wow. Talk about creating the life of your dreams. So that's what we're about here at the Hartley Center. Thank you for being with us. If you're watching live, yummy, 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 yummy. If you're watching on replay, hashtag replay, it's still yummy, yummy, yummy to have you. Please feel free at any moment to type in questions and I can answer them. Please give me ideas for topics you'd like to see covered in this Hump Day Happy Chat. I'm here for you. It's to bless you with the information, data, concepts, principles, practices that can help you create a life that you really love living. That's my joy and purpose on the planet, and I would love to contribute and breathe some blessings your way. So, today's topic. Wow, what did you think about that title? Do you have the courage to fly? Do you have the courage to fly? How do you fly? Are you courageous enough? This was a trigger for this idea. I saw this quote yesterday and I loved it. What good are wings without the courage to fly? What good are wings without the courage to fly? It's by a very ancient being, like BC times, named Atticus. Actually, Titus Pomponius Atticus was his full name. He was born in Rome in 110 BC. I always see these things and I'm like, wow, how interesting that lives were cataloged then, and that the historical documentation thereof existed for over 2,000 years, and we have access to it today. Amazing. He died 32 BC. He was a wealthy Roman. Obviously, wealthy people's histories were cataloged a lot more than anyone else's. Famous for his relationship and correspondence with Cicero, which is probably how he's able to be marked, Roman statesman Cicero. He studied philosophy, and he spent his time in Rome and in Greece. He was an orator. He loved rhetoric. Wasn't into political office, but he was into these big ideas of and thinking, an orator who puts words together. And he also was a tutor to one of Rome's most famous emperors, who I often quote, Marcus Aurelius. So this quote from Atticus, "What good are wings without the courage to fly?" What good are they? And this has been a real meaningful question for me. As I've contemplated it in my life, I can't help but think about the times when I thought I was, putting my wings out, unfurling my wings and going for it, only to find somewhere along the path, I closed my wings up and I lost my courage. I lost my inspiration. I lost my drive. I lost my no matter what emphatic, tenacious nature of going for it. And I sunk into a different place. I sunk into a place of status quo is okay. I sunk into a place of fear, maybe. I sunk into a place that stopped me. It didn't stop me in my tracks, meaning I was dead in the water, but it stopped me from reaching. It stopped me from leaning in. It stopped me from jumping, taking the leap of faith and trust. It stopped me from going to the highest heights, my highest potential, which is always available. Interesting. There's always more possible, depending on what lens you're looking through, what interpretation you're potentially clouding the truth with. So, your wings exist inside you. It's part of your endowment, your spiritual endowment of superpowers that are innate as an integrated spiritual human being. The source of that power, the source of the ability to spread your wings and fly, is the divine, who I call one name, God. I also call Great Spirit. I also call unconditional love. I also call holiest of holies. Whatever name you use to refer to this higher power that is always available to you, that in truth exists inside you. It's activated from inside you. That's how you bring heaven into earth, is you activate your divine spiritual nature, your divinity within you while you walk in the body physical in the earthly realm. That's how it's done. You have wings. They exist inside you. So the question is, what good are they without the courage to fly? What good are they if I'm not courageous enough to fly higher in my own life, to bring more magnificence into that life, to share that magnificence, to increase the magnificence in the lives of others? What good is that? Can you feel the answer to that question wanting to come to you through you? Are you willing to ask yourself the question? how do I activate my wings? Are you willing to believe that you have wings? Of course, not earthly wings like a bird, but hey, what more is possible? So one of the things that I learned as I activated this question within me was that things were weighing me down. My wings were there, but man, were they having to work hard. I love this Toni Morrison quote. If you want to fly, you got to let go of the ish that weighs you down. You want to fly, you got to let go of the ish that weighs you down. Yes. What are those anchors weighing you down? What are those anchors weighing you down? So one of the most important things that we talk about with this, what's weighing me down, is your past. What is in your past that actually obscures your connection to and activation of your wings? If they're there all the time, then what's getting in their way? So for me, it was past hurts. And the past are old regrets, old guilt, old shame, old ways that you let yourself down, old ways that you let others down, old ways that you made mistakes and you feel guilty or shameful about them. Old times where you were harmed by someone else. Old times where you actually were the perpetrator and you harmed others. All that stuff that isn't released, that we haven't healed, that you haven't made your peace with, is still alive in you. And it's not about what's good or bad or right or wrong or who is the perpetrator, who is the victim. We don't have time to go there. And that can actually, all that exploration can actually anchor you even deeper into the darkness that's a part of those situational dynamics. And this is not trying to erase the situational dynamics. You can't change the past. What we're talking about here is the relationship you have with the past being the anchor that is weighing you down. The relationship. So relationships in your emotional psyche are created by your interpretations, your belief system. So what in your past is weighing you down? And it's probably, you'll go back and say, well, last year, and I'm going to invite and encourage you, it's way far back than that. It's really, psychologists and others have proven the most deep emotional directors of our lives, those situational dynamics happen between 0, and some of them can happen in the womb. I'm aware of some things of mine that started in the womb. And probably by the time I was 8, the emotional dynamics were set. And then for the rest of my life, through laws of attraction, law of reflection, law of karma, universal laws that are in operation 24/7, 365, whether you know it or not, understand it or not, believe it or not, like it or not. The laws don't care. Gravity doesn't care whether you know the formula or whether you believe. Gravity does what gravity does. So the laws are in operation. And so these ideas and perceptions and beliefs and fears get set. They're in our vibration. Our expression has our vibration. We vibrate that into the world. And through those laws, our world is created. It's very hard to fly, no matter how huge are your wings, when you have anchors weighing you down. Emotional upset, dis-ease weighing you down. So the past. Got to do something about the past. Number 2, often from the past, we create limiting beliefs. Some of them are conditioned into us by outside forces, parents, aunties, uncles, friends who say, money doesn't grow on trees. You got to work hard to have anything in this life. Well, that creates a limiting belief. If I don't work hard, I'm not going to succeed. And so I run around working really hard. There can be limiting beliefs about who you are and what you're capable of. Limiting beliefs about the kinds of relationships you're going to have. What you can contribute to the planet, to your family, to your organization. Whether you can own a business, run a business, whether you're capable enough or worthy enough or seen enough to be of high office or high stature, whether you can be wealthy, whether you can be a lender, not a borrower, whether your physicality will shift, what you're capable of physically, emotionally, mentally, spiritually, how long will be your life. Limiting beliefs can creep into every aspect of our lives. And if you're not aware of what yours are, if you're not saying to yourself, why do I do that? Why do I believe that? Where did that come from? Great question to ask. Who am I being when I think I'm being me? That thing that just came out of my mouth. Who said that? Do I really mean it? So your limiting beliefs is another good place to look for your anchors. The things that are getting in the way of you unfurling your wings, taking a couple giant flaps, and soaring into your highest expression of you, which is guaranteed to bring your highest experience in your life. What about emotional upset? Emotional upset. And emotional upset is this interesting thing because it can happen when there's good things happening in your life, like the birth of a child, graduation from some program, a certification, moving into a new, bigger house, getting a new job, getting a raise, going for vacation, having people visit. Good things can create stress and anxiety and overwhelm. That's called eustress. EUSTRESS. Good stress. Stress comes from coming from positives. And then, of course, there's the emotional upsets on the downside, in the darker place. Not dark because it's bad, just darker because it feels heavier. It's weighted down with a lower vibration. These are usually things like anger, rage, hate, guilt, shame, blame, punishment, unloving behavior to yourself and others, fighting, needing something, attachment to being right, attachment to always being wrong, attachment to being judged, attachment. All these things create emotional upset. Emotional upset, when it flows, is not a big problem. So some people tell me, well, this person, gosh, they're always expressing their upsets. And I'm like, hallelujah. And then on the other side is these people who just suck it in. You know there's something wrong. What's wrong? And they won't tell you. Nothing. That was me for a long time. Nothing. And I just swallowed it in, and it festers. And then every now and then they're like Mount Vesuvius, a volcano in Italy, and they just go off. Oops. Oopsie daisies. And then you run around saying your apologies to all the people who were in the route of the ash, of the molten lava coming out of me. Emotional upsets. They are more detrimental to us when we swallow them and we hang on to them and we ruminate about them and we go back to that moment in time and we replay it over and over and over again. Anybody done that? If you've done that, type a hell yeah. Over and over again. And I used to replay in a more sophisticated way because I would change what the other person would say and then I'd come up with what I would say and then I'd have their retort and then I'd say what I need to say. Have you ever done that? What a waste of our powerful energy. It's not serving us. It didn't serve me. I don't believe it's serving you. So emotional upsets can be anchors weighing you down, making it absolutely impossible for the magnificence of you to get its full shining space, for that magnificence of you to be delivering you to the magnificence in your life. If your expression has low vibration energy in it, your experience has to have low vibration energy in it. You cannot change that. It's a spiritual law that governs the universe. So you need to work in harmony with universal law. And another little anchor that can weigh people down and prevent you from spreading your wings, having the courage to fly. What good are your wings without the courage to fly? Is fear. Fear of the unknown, fear of the future, fear of repeating the past, fear, 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 fear. Fear is really powerful. It's essential, especially when there's danger. When you're in danger, true life-threatening danger, harmful danger, your fear coming from the limbic brain that puts you in a fight or flight mode that allows you to be hyper aware of what's going around you, makes the hair stand on the back of your neck, gets you ready to run or fight. That is exactly what you need. That is one of the most powerful, essential parts of your nature when there's danger. In the absence of danger, your fear is like a prison with concrete walls. Concrete because you can't really see the object of your fear. You can't really see it. Because in emotional fear, that object is probably clouded over with some of your incorrect interpretations, your distorted perceptions that are created by the things we just talked about that are weighing you down. Are you seeing how these things integrate? And here's the thing. As the master and commander of your life, you are the only one who can change it. The only one who can free yourself. The only one who can elevate yourself. The only one who can stand up straighter and taller. The only one who can change your limiting beliefs into glorious affirmative statements about you and you in your life. You're the only one. So, how do you cultivate within you the courage to unfurl your wings so that you can fly? Well, let me guess. Hopefully, you know what the first one's going to be because it's always the same. My first thing in my list of ways you can support yourself at a higher level, a higher vibration, is to breathe. Let's do that right now. Let's take a deep breath. Hold it. And release it through your mouth. Feel yourself sinking. You do this enough times, you may even feel yourself a little bit dizzy, lightheaded. You're not used to getting that much oxygenated air into your brain. Why? Because most people breathe really shallowly. Why? Because most people are in the grips of some sort of emotional fear created by interpretations of the past. Boy, do I know that. Been there, done that, many t-shirts later. I'm trying to help you. I'm here to help you. Let go. So number 2, you're letting go of the emotional junk in your trunk. Let that go from your badunkadunk. Let go of the emotional junk in your trunk. Clean that stuff up. It's a little bit of a mess. It doesn't have to be heavy. It doesn't have to be sad. Sad moments will come, but you don't have to become sad just because you're flowing some old energy that reminds you of something that was sad time, release the emotional junk in your trunk. In my book, I talk about several release practices. My favorite is forgiveness. My second favorite is laughter. Check them out. I love forgiveness. I practice a radical forgiveness. I practice Ho'oponopono. I practice the Phoenix ceremony. I practice bubble meditations. I do a number of ways that I allow myself to release things that I need to forgive. And laughter yoga, laughter, mirthful laughter for no other reason than to laugh, is a really healing practice. I encourage and invite you. Get into it. In this efforting around emotional release, the emotional junk in your trunk, in forgiveness, is a critical thing called taking personal responsibility. And this can be confusing for some. It's not about the original incident. It's if there is a place for you to take personal responsibility for what you brought to the situation, absolutely do it. Like, own yourself, own your power. Also own what you do. Not just when it's good and laudable and generous and kind, but own it at all times. That's where your opportunity to see yourself being your not self gives you space for personal growth. Again, that's part of having the courage to fly. And then in the present moment, the forgiveness is for holding on to it for so long. I forgive myself that I still feel anger after 30 years about something. I forgive myself that I'm still telling myself this story and I'm making myself the victim when I don't need to be. I take responsibility for, in this moment, I'm really angry at someone or something. Or I take personal responsibility. I got triggered and I came out swinging. Take responsibility as a part of your healing. The more you see yourself as master and commander or mistress and commandress or the light of your life, the more that you will not accept and allow that there's darkness still there. If I am the light, why would I allow darkness to rule me, to run me ragged? Nope, I say. That's not happening here no more. So the whole thing is you take personal responsibility, you do your forgiveness work, you get into higher vibration, you start to flow, which allows you to start to spread your wings. And every time a situation comes up that triggers the old energy, you do a new choice. You do a new choice. That's one of my favorite games in improv. New choice. You're going about your day, you're doing the thing you always do, the way you always do it, and then you make a new choice. In the game, someone says, new choice. So when you're doing it for yourself, you could say, I'm about to get resentful. I can feel that resentment energy coming up. I take my personal responsibility. That's me. It's not the other person. I don't even know if they remember this moment. I forgive myself for what happened in the moment. I forgive them for what happened in the moment. I forgive myself for hanging on to this. I'm now letting it go, and I'm replacing it with, this is a powerful relationship. I'm replacing it with, I have the ability to fly and I'm unfurling my wings right this minute. I'm replacing it with, peace, ease, grace are mine now. So you do a new choice in the present moment, and then you feel yourself elevate in your vibration, and then you add a joy practice. What's a joy practice? Yes energy to me is cultivating joy. Smiling is cultivating joy. Gratitude cultivates joy. I'm so grateful that I'm awake and aware of myself and my life, that I can actually transform myself, evolve my consciousness, spiral higher, spread my wings with courage and grace, and fly. What good are your wings without the courage to fly? So I hope that you benefited from this Hump Day Happy Chat. And there's some really cool stuff always available to you through my Hartley Center for Mindfulness and Self-Mastery. More and more of it is coming online to our academy.hartleycenter.com. We have courses on meditation, a money magnetism course, a big signature course on living happy to be me. We have free self-mastery challenges. I've got a new big thing coming up in May 29th to June 4th, called the Glow Up Experience. Mind, body, spirit activation to restore you to wholeness and return you to flow. Woohoo! Flow. Flow right into the most magnificent aspects of your life. You can go to tiny URL, Glow Up Retreat. Tiny URL / Glow Up, up Retreat. And take a look at that. More information is coming. Many blessings. Thank you for joining me at this Hump Day Happy Chat. And I always close with the Karanaya Metta Sutra, which is the prayer of loving kindness from the Buddha. And I love to breathe myself in. May all beings be peaceful. May all beings be safe. Sending a lot of safety energy out there for people who are in harm's way in many places all over the planet, not just the ones that repeatedly make the news. May all beings be happy. May all beings awaken to the light of their true nature. Your true nature is peace, love, joy, and emotional freedom. Let's get you there. Let's get you there. And may all beings be free. Many, many, many blessings. Hump Day. Happy chat. Signing off now. I'm Dr. Valerie Renee Shepard, and I'm wishing you the best. Bye now.